Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out what my intro is gonna be. But in today's video, I decided I wanted to try and do it slightly different. As you can see, I went ahead and listed the health, the combat weight, and the attacks with the damage values for you. So just in case you don't know, if you want to figure out how much damage you deal to each dino, all you have to do is take your combat weight and divide it by your opponent's combat weight and then multiply it by whatever attack you're using. So just as an example, I used the Meg's 2700 combat weight, divide that by 2600 for the Metri. It gives you a value of 1.0384615, etc, etc. And then you will multiply that number that you get by 65 for Venom Bite, and that gives you a value of 67.5. Now on the other end, the Metri will actually only deal 62.5 damage to the Meg for each Venom Bite. But that's enough of that, so let's go ahead and get into the tier charts. First up is the Metri. I tried to put both on the screen, but it makes everything too small, and it's really hard to see which dino is what. So I did make this chart assuming that you were playing solo. I would not recommend fighting a lot of these dinos if you are newer to the game. Once you become very experienced, if you come across a Rex as an example, it is not very difficult to beat them, assuming that they didn't watch the Rex video that we put up. But again guys, the Metri, you want to be in a pack of at least 3. Now, I believe that the Meg and the Metri are both very similar in their capabilities. They each have their own advantages and disadvantages, but with the Meg, I did move the Metri into the challenge column. This chart is again assuming that you are solo, which I would not recommend with the Meg. I would want to be in a group of at least 2. So the Metri, you want 3, Megalania, you want at least 2. So now I want to show you guys just a little bit of combat, and then I'll show you how I build each of them. Now this Rex was slightly wounded, but there's no reason why he can't defend himself from one Metri. You'll notice a lot of his tail attacks too, if the Rex is standing, will actually make contact with my tail, not my face. So keep that in mind whenever you're fighting smaller tiers as a Rex or anything else that's big. Use small bursts of sprint to make your tail attack land closer to their face to deal more damage. I'm sure you guys could see that the tail attacks that were hitting my body, I could only take maybe 6 or 7 of those before I'd be out of the fight completely. Even if this Rex was at half health, each one of my Venom Bites only deals 26 damage because of the combat weight difference, and my claw attacks deal 16 damage. Alright, let's check out some of the Meg. The Meg does have a huge advantage with the hitboxes because it's like a foot from the ground. A lot of attacks go right over your head. One downside to the Meg versus the Metri is that the Meg only has the Viper Strike for a secondary attack, whereas the Metri can use its claws, which will outdamage the Viper Strike. It also has a tail attack. You do also have to be very careful around rocks whenever you're fighting against an Apex, because if you get caught on a single rock, one Rex bite, and that's going to take the majority of your health. He could probably one-shot me with how low my health is right here. Once you get down to about 30 to 40% of your health, that would be a good time to tag in your friend. Well, that's unfortunate. But yeah guys, with the Meg and the Metri, playing both of them solo, I did find that you miss out on a lot of kills if you're playing solo. You just need that extra little bit of damage, which I think really makes them both pretty balanced. Or if you are playing solo, you can just bait the Apexes into following you off a cliff apparently. I did manage to get a little bit of duo Meg gameplay, so before people post in the comments below that the Iggy destroys the Megalania, This is a prime example. Once you drain the stamina of the Iggy, he can't use the back kick and the tail attack unless he's crouched, goes right over the Meg, so he has to rely on the thumb attack. We were third-partied by a Kentro halfway into this fight, but as you can see, if you were to catch an Iggy in a field or in the water, anywhere but against the side of this cliff really, it would be fairly easy to take the Iggy down one-on-one. So just like when you're fighting in Apex, you want to use your short bursts of speed to try and stay out of their hit range. My friend did try to distract the Kentro as long as she could, which I do appreciate. It did guarantee this kill, but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to fight the Kentro also. So I would recommend using Twilight Menace over Nictating Membrane because you can see pretty clear under most bodies of water. You don't need to see that far, especially if you're playing as a Meg, because you can always flee onto the ground. And then I would also use Streamline because the only other thing that's going to be giving you Venom and Poison is a Meg or another Metri. So it's, you know, situational. I'd rather have the increased swim speed and swim turning speed. And then for the back legs, it's really up to you. If you're going to be near bodies of water, if you're going to be basically anywhere other than crater, I would consider using webbed feet. But if you are going to be playing in areas where it's mostly plains and fields and rocks, etc., like that, then the leap ability would be very beneficial because you can decrease your fall damage. I wouldn't really put emphasis on the jump height, it's really not that good, but that decreased fall damage can definitely get you out of a lot of sketchy situations. And for the Metri, you're definitely going to want to use Venom Bite over the Viper Strikes, not only because of the damage difference, but the amount of venom that it actually applies to the target is significantly different. And then you only have one slot for the senses and front limb and metabolism. So then the only two things left are the hide and tail, which I would use the putrid scales for the hide so that you can keep applying that venom poison and draining your opponent's stamina even if you miss with your bite attack. And then with the tail, I would recommend starting with the tail attack until you get used to it, and then after a while maybe try out that balance just for the 15% increased turning. That is going to be it for this video, guys. I hope that you found value in it. If you did, please smash that like button, comment, and subscribe. I did just become eligible for memberships, so if you guys are interested, you can leave a gentleman's tip if you find these guides helpful for you. If you cannot, don't feel pressured. Just leave me a like, comment, and subscribe.